10 best Vin Diesel movies of all time. Before we get started, be sure to give that like button a little love and hit subscribe to stay in the loop for future exciting content. 10. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, 2016. Based on the best-selling novel by Ben Fountain, the movie is a war drama that revolves around a 19-year-old Private Billy Lynn, played by Joe Alwyn, who after returning from a tormenting battle in Iraq with his companions is celebrated as a war hero. The film then follows a series of flashbacks that depict the events of what happened, which contradicts America's falsified depictions of gallantry. The film was shot at a whopping 120 fps, rather than the usual 24 fps, because Ang Lee wanted to make the whole experience of the film very immersive and engaging. The production budget of Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk was a total of $40 million, but managed only to gross a total of $30.9 million worldwide. The movie was not received very well by the critics, and the film's technological aspects were heavily criticized. The film's deep emotions and engaging story were praised widely nonetheless. 9. Babylon Ad, 2008. Based on the 1999 novel Babylon Babies by Morris George Dantec, Babylon 80 is a sci-fi set in a desolated, wrecked dystopian future that shows a hardcore mercenary Turup played by Vin Diesel, who lives by his own rules. Turup takes up an assignment that requires him to bring a young woman Aurora, Melanie Thierry, and her guardian, Sister Rebecca, Michelle Yeoh, from Kazakhstan to New York safely. Turup encounters deadly obstacles at every step, and a realization starts to hit him that Aurora embodies the last hope for the survival of humanity. The film had a production budget of $70 million and managed to earn a total of $72.1 million worldwide. The film was received very poorly. The weak script and low-grade action sequences were termed as reasons for the poor performance of the film despite an impressive performance by Diesel. 8. The Pacifier, 2005. The American family comedy stars Vin Diesel as an elite Navy SEAL, Shane Wolf, who is set up on a mission to rescue a scientist Howard Plummer. Played by Tate Donovan, who is working on a top-secret government project. Shane fails to save him, and Howard ends up being assassinated by the enemy team. Circumstances then lead to Shane being assigned to look after Plummett's 4 children and a pet duck who all possess distinct personalities. The film follows Shane going crazy managing and protecting the family. The film was not received well by the critics, but still managed to earn $198.6 million worldwide. Diesel's comedic side was also refreshing for his fans. 7. A Man Apart, 2003. A Man Apart is an American action film that features Vin Diesel and Lawrence Tate in lead roles as DEA agents, Vetter and Hicks respectively. They battle the drug cartel to shut down drug activities along the U.S. Maine. The Last Witch Hunter is an American fantasy action film that sees Vin Diesel as Calder, an immortal witch hunter. Claude was cursed with immortality when he slew a powerful witch queen centuries ago. Now the human race is again faced with an unimaginable magnitude of danger, with the risk of her resurrection as Calder, the last of his kind, is confronted with her vindictive outrage. The story takes a twist when the cartel murders Vetter's wife as revenge for the capture of the cartel kingpin, Memo Lucreco, by the DEA. Vetter and his partner Hicks team up with the captured cartel boss to hunt down the new cartel boss. 6. The Last Witch Hunter, 2015. The Last Witch Hunter is an American fantasy action film that sees Vin Diesel as Calder, an immortal witch hunter. Claude was cursed with immortality when he slew a powerful witch queen centuries ago. Now, the human race is again faced with an unimaginable magnitude of danger, with the risk of her resurrection as Calder, the last of his kind, is confronted with her vindictive outrage. The film received generally unfavorable reviews from critics and was said to be boring. Its digital effects were also heavily criticized for being flawed and not up to the mark. 5. Knockaround Guys, 2001. The plot of Knockaround Guys follows four sons played by Barry Pepper, John Malkovich, Dennis Hopper, Vin Diesel, and Seth Green, whose fathers are well-known gangsters in Brooklyn. The four boys unite together to retrieve a bag of cash that went missing from the airport. The boys get in trouble when the money somehow lands in the hands of some corrupt cops of Montana town. Now the boys must do everything to retrieve the bag, which is desperately wanted by some important mafia members in Chicago. The film brought together several renowned figures and was well received in terms of acting. Apart from the classic cast, the film received somewhat unfavorable reviews from critics. The film managed to earn only $14.1 million USD against a production budget of $15 million USD. Four. Bloodshot, 2020. Based on the Valiant Comics character, Bloodshot is an American superhero film that sees Vin Diesel in the lead role as a U.S. Marine named Ray Garrison. The plot progresses as Ray and his wife are kidnapped and murdered by a guy named Martin Axe. A team of scientists brings Ray back to life using nanotechnology, which along with his rebirth also gives him superhuman capabilities. Turning him into a biotech killing machine, Bloodshot. Following his resurrection, Ray loses all his memories, but as his memories start to flood back in, he sets to seek revenge on the guy who murdered him and his wife. As he sets on his mission, he unveils some dirty secrets which form the plot of the film. 3. Strays, 1997. The American drama film Stray stars Vin Diesel as a criminal who wants to alter life and find meaning in it. The story progresses as he meets and falls in love with a girl, Heather, who lives next door. The film was a debut for Vin Diesel as a feature film director and sheds light upon his youth and upbringing in New York. It was criticized for being slow and having inadequate dialogue, while the acting was appreciated and contributed to the engagement element of the movie. 2. Pitch Black, 2000. Pitch Black is an American sci-fi action horror film in which Vin Diesel, Radha Mitchell, Cole Hauser, and Keith David serve as lead actors. Vin Diesel plays the role of a criminal, Richard B. Riddick, who is being transported to prison in a spacecraft when it meets an accident and crash lands on a deserted planet. Faced with threats and hostile conditions, Riddick teams up with the rest of the crew to escape the horrors of the desolated planet. Pitch Black had a production budget of $23 million USD and earned a total of $53.2 million USD worldwide. The film was appreciated for its engaging story element and became a cult classic among sci-fi fans. 1. Fast 5, 2011. Fast 5 is the fifth installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. The film follows the events of Fast and Furious 2009, where former cop Brian O'Connor, late Paul Walker, and Mia Toretto, Jordana Brewster, break Dom, Vin Diesel, free of custody. Evading the authorities by traveling consistently, they once again bring together the whole crew in Rio, where they set on a mission to execute a heist worth $100 million, which can be the key to their permanent freedom. The film also brings in a new face, Dwayne Johnson as a federal agent, and Luke Hobbs, who is after the crew. The addition was received positively, and Dwayne was appreciated for his acting. The film made around $626.1 million USD worldwide against a production budget of $125 million USD, making it the highest-grossing film of the franchise. Please show your support and appreciation by hitting Super Thanks. Proceeds will go to fund future videos.